So what's the first rule as a dungeon master? The number one DM rule: you can never make a mistake. Now, if you step back for a moment, the dungeon master has a lot of responsibility. We're there to run the adventure, resolve the rules, make sure every player at the table, physical or virtual, has their voice heard, can play their character. And at the same time, and this is important because many DMs forget this, or it's easy to forget as you balance all of these different roles, you're also there as a player. The moment you stop having fun, not only does that bring down the immersion and the adventure, it's going to lead to DM burnout. So from that perspective, one of the things that we're looking to do in developing our Dungeon Master Toolkit is this idea of your player personality, finding your vision, finding your voice, the type of adventures that you are passionate to run, and injecting yourself in that with the collaboration of the players is going to open up tremendous role-playing opportunities. Now, narrating and judging all this and juggling all this and dealing with all this, sometimes it's natural to ask yourself the question, what if I make a mistake? What if I get a rule wrong? What if I forget something? I mean, D&D is very modular. You can play the core 3 books, but you certainly can take advantage, and many of us want to explore the different supplements and different character classes, whether they're official releases or homebrew. There are a lot of layers upon layers. And the moment that you have self-doubt, you're a great DM. The moment you have self-doubt about your ability as a DM, that's where the adventure begins to break down, or that's where the narrative breaks down. So the first thing to remember is you're there to facilitate the story. You can never make a mistake. If you forget a rule, okay, move on. If you're unsure about how to make a call about something, make the judgment, move on. Here's a perfect example. As you and I are interacting, so I'm the DM right now, you're with a group of players. As we delve into the adventure, the campaign, the story for the evening, something begins to happen. We start to switch where we're no longer playing D&D. We're in this world that we've co-created. We're in this adventure. We're in that immersion. I don't want to break that immersion. As soon as we break that immersion with a pause in the game, a lengthy pause, well, now you start thinking, well, what am I going to do? Maybe I'll get a refresh on my drink and some snacks, or Fritz is looking something up. I want to avoid that. So if something comes up where there's a rules question and I'm not sure of it and I can't find it really fast and just kind of reference it, or it's not on my homemade DM screen for that moment, then from that perspective, I make a call and we'll figure it out later for next time. I don't want to break the immersion. So I want you to free yourself, that number one DM rule. That confidence. You can't make a mistake. You can't get something wrong. You can do whatever you want, call whatever you want. I mean, essentially, it says this in every version of the DM guide. The rules are really an optional framework to tell a story. So think to yourself, how can you find that vision? How can you have that voice? And how can you do that to be an effective DM?